Hello everybody, welcome back to 30 Seconds Excel Solve. Here we are again with another tutorial, and this tutorial is entering in more detailed instructions regarding Excel. We have seen in the past tutorials how to use the formatting of tables or how to create a table, and later on how to use addressing or dragging or even other options. We have seen also in the last session how to do sorting and filtering, but today we are going to enter on another point. So our topic today is the formulas and functions. So we are going to see today how these functions can be applied in Excel, or the formulas, how they can be applied in Excel itself. What is the syntax really for making that, and which are the types of the formulas. So we are going to see a couple of formulas, and today we are going to be focused on the date and time functions. First of all, I want to present you on how to write a formula. And the formula in Excel can be written directly by putting an equal sign and then apply your formula by addressing. So this equal means that your function or your formula is going to be started. So if you apply a formula, then you can address that. So equal, for example, these units multiply with the unit cost. And if you click enter, that will give this total number, which you have that here. And this is a formula. When you apply a function, you have not why to use directly addressing, but you have to use the function itself. For example, if I want to make the sum of all of these, let's put here it is the sum, and here is the sum of those records. So basically, this is how to apply formulas very simply. And I have to explain also the types of functions and formulas, or functions better. So we are going to see what are the types, and for doing that, you can go to your uh, data commands there and go to formulas. And on formulas, you have a lot of function libraries there. And of course, you can't use all of those. Why? Because there are specific functions built just for financial purposes or for engineering purposes. So it is kind of strange to use all of those all together. But most of those, we are going to see those together because those are critical to be used in your analysis on the data, because Excel itself is focused on analyzing data. And when you have these functions, those helps a lot you to get the proper results. So we are going to see the types, and the types that we are going to see are logical functions, text functions, date and time functions, lookup and reference functions, math functions, and then on the more functions, we are going to see some statistical functions and some information functions. So basically, this is what we are going to see on this lesson, which is the fifth lesson. We are going to see the date functions. So I'm hoping that you understand those as much as you can. And if you have any question, don't forget to leave a comment on this video. And now I'm starting with explaining a little bit more these formulas that are related with date functions. So the first date function that we are going to see is the month date function, which is an easy function that gets the month from a date. And for applying that, you have just to put equal, and that click or write month. And when you write month, it is asking for a serial number, which in your case will be the date that you want to show the month. So if I do that here it is, and close the bracket, there it is, the month for this order date. And if I drag that based on the dragging opportunities that we have, you can see that these are all the months applied. So this is how you can use month function. That we have the day function, and the day function is, again, you put equal, you put day, and now you ask the serial number, which is the order date, and you close the bracket, and there's the day. If you see, this is the day. So here it is, the day. And now you can see that you have the days there. For yours, you can apply the same methodology, but using the year function. and you put year. So equal year, you open the bracket and put the order date, which is the serial number, close the bracket, and here it is, the year. So now you have the month, the day, and the year of this order date, which is a good thing because you can manipulate with those, or can group those, or can filter those in other cases, if you are going to apply more filters or sorting. So after that, we are going to see another function, which is the date function. And regarding the date function, what we are going to see is that there is a function called date, and this date is specific because uh, we learned in the beginning how to split a full date to month, day, year, but this date function is the opposite, is the vice versa of what we have done. So it is asking which is the year, which is the month, and which is the date. And by picking those, we can get really a date like is the order date. And I'm going to do the process vice versa right now. I'm going to use this month, day, and year on this date function. And here it is. The date, the year is this cell here, so J2. And then for the month, I put a comma. And then for the month, I have H2. And for the day, I have I2. So now that I have inputted the year, the month, and the day, I can close the bracket. And here it is, my date, which is exactly the same to what I was in the beginning. If I drag that, all of those will be exactly the same to what I had in the beginning because I used the same variables, that I picked from those order dates. So basically what we have seen up to now as date functions is the month function, the date function, the year function, and the date function. Another function that is very used frequently is the today function, which calculates the proper, the current day, really. So if I put equal and put today, and then just open and close your bracket, what this will give, it will be give a fixed date, so without a time. So this is today, so this is the day that I am applying that. So if I drag that, you can see that this does not change. Why? Because today it means it's the current day. So now that I have the opportunity to see how much is today and date, I can make even differences. So I can make a difference here, for example, and the difference can be put it directly as a difference between today and, so here it is, a formula, today minus the date, and you can understand how many days, for example, are passed from the date, the order date. So here it is. It looks like this is a date. Why? Because the format is wrong. So I have to change the format, and for changing the format, as we have seen in previous lessons, we have to go to home, and then here we have to select the format here and put general. And now you can see that these are days. So this is calculating the difference between today and the order date. And if I apply that, you can see that these are all the differences between today and the last order date that was made. So other than that, we can calculate also the week number. So we have to know, if we want to know which was the week number for this date, then we have to apply a formula or a function which is called Weeknum. So the week number, really, it is asking for the serial number, and the serial number is the order date. Now that you have the order date, it is asking for the return type. So when you are considering the week that is starting, so you are considering that starting on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday. So basically your preference. So I'm starting with Sunday. So let's suppose that the weeks on these years are starting with Sunday. We put just one there. And if we put one, now it's going to count those, and you see that this is the 28th. So this date, this order date here falls on the 28th week of this year. And if I drag that, you will see that I get all of the week numbers. So from basically from basically 53 weeks that a year, or 54, 52 weeks that a year might have, it is giving a result. So which is the week for this order date? Always these cases here can help on identifying filtering options and sorting options. So you can use that frequently on grouping or doing analysis over different options. Then another option is to find the weekday, and we want to know, for example, what day was this, the 12th of July 2019. And for applying that, we have to use this function, which is called weekday, and it is asking for a serial number, and the serial number is the order date now, and the return type. So we are going to choose again when our week is starting, and I'm putting one because my number one is Sunday, and Saturday, let's suppose that is 7, but I can choose even 2 if my week is considered from Monday to Sunday. So I'm going to put 2 because this is uh, currently what is here in my location official. So here it is. If I close the bracket and click enter, now I get the weekday, which is the 5th weekday. So of course we have just 7 weekdays, so I'm not expecting that numbers are greater than 7. So I can understand that this is Friday, so this is Tuesday, this is Monday. So basically based on the opportunity that I have selected on the return type, I can see what is the weekday in reality. And this is another function used in the date functions, but that's not the only one. I'm going to see the end of month, which is a very frequent function used in Excel, and calculates the last day of the month. And for doing that, you have just to put a formula, a function, sorry, that is called EO month. And this function, it is asking for the start date, and for our case the start date is the order date. Now the second variable that this function is asking for month. So when do you want this end of month? On this month, on next month? So if I put, for example, the start date and this month, which means 0 months difference, then you can see that now I'm getting this number is a number because the format is general, but I can change that to short date. And this is the last day of this month, which is the 7th month. If I want to see the previous month last day, then I have to go -1. And if I put -1, this means that it will go 1 month less, and I'm expecting to get the last day of June, not July. So here it is, you see, it's the 30th of June 2019. And if I want to see the next month, then I can go by putting 1, which is positive, which makes me think that I'm going to see August number. And there's it is. Here it is, the 31st of August. And if I want to see a quarter or a 3 months difference, I can put 3 or -3. And here it is, for example, the month, the end of month, the day, last day of month. Based on this end of month, let me put just 0 there because I want this current month last day. So this is the end of month. Based on this end of month, I can calculate even the beginning of month. So let me put insert and put beginning of month. So I have this beginning of month, and for calculating the beginning of month, really, I have to use the EO month again, but there is a little bit of logic to be applied. So I'm going to apply that by putting equal sign, and now I'm going to put EO month. Here it is. And now the start date always is this order date. And now that I have the start date, I can put the months. Now the logic that I have to apply is if I want to find the first day of this month, then I have to find the last day of the previous month plus 1 day. That's logic how I can find the first day of this month. So First thing, I have to find which is the last day of last month. And here it is. This is the last day of last month, sorry. So now that I found this, I have to add to this formula just one day. And now, as you can see, this is the first day of this month, the beginning of the month. And if I apply that, you will see that these are all the beginning of the months for these order dates. So we are proceeding on getting more knowledge regarding the date functions, but we are going to continue our learning more and more. So we have other functions, and we are going to see now the now function. Now function is quite similar to the today function that we did see here, but now function in reality does not give you just a date. It gives you the date and the current time. So if I put, for example, now, here it is, I click enter, you will see that the format itself is the month, the day, year, and you get also the time, the current time that I'm working on. So if I apply that, it's quite the same. It changes dynamically. So if I click again, you will see that that will change. So let me change the format so you can see even seconds there because it's shown just hours and minutes. So let me go to long date, or let me put another format cell for understanding, for having all of these seconds. I don't think that English US has these, but English UK can have those. I think it's not a problem. We can put that here and click OK. For example, this gives the now time. So I changed the format to show just the time because I want to see even the second. So if I click and enter, you will see that those dynamically changed based on the seconds that is moving because it's current time. Now, when you are applying this now function, you can apply other date and time functions, which, for example, you want to know how much is the time, current time, but the hours, current hours. And I'm going to apply that, but this can be applied even for formulas that have date in there, or for variables that have date in there and time in their format. So here it is. For hours, you put equal and you put this function for calculating the hours, hour. And now the serial number, I'm going to use this now because this is time format. And I close this, and this gives me the hour, which is 14 because I'm in midday. And if I apply that, it will be the same because it's the same day. Then I'm going to apply minutes, and I have minute function. And for the minute function, I can use the same serial, and that's the minute, 25. And for the seconds, I can use second. And on the second, I can use the serial number, which is this now function, and close that. And as you can see, now I have the seconds. So I have the hours, the minutes, and the seconds split it. So from specific time, I can get the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. Those serve for different analysis. If you want to see, for example, how many hours are passed or things like that, how many hours are left, always this helps on identifying the proper variables. The time is the vice versa of what we have done currently. So it is getting the hours, the minutes, and the seconds, and it is giving us a time. For example, if I want to use this time, and the time is asking for the hour, and this is the hour. And then it is asking for the minute, and this is the minute. And this is asking for the seconds, and this is the second. I close the bracket, and you will see that I will have a time there. So this is the time, and this is the format of the time. I can change the format to contain also the seconds, and here it is. As you can see, it changes dynamically. Why? Because the now function is a dynamic function as the today function. So basically, these are the most frequent used date functions. There are a lot of functions there, Of course, we have even other functions, but we are not going to see all of the functions because not all of those are used. So I'm hoping that you understood all of these functions, and let me know if you have any question. Please leave a comment on this video. Don't forget to subscribe because it's very important that we continue on this process on giving more and more lessons on related topics. And don't forget also to follow or like our Facebook page, 30 Seconds Excel Solve. Again, thanks for watching. I wish you to a good day and hope to see you on the next video. Bye.